It can feel like people are shutting their doors in your faces. It's because they are. So camping to Harrow is really popular for coming on and off the ferry, isn't it? But we really like Harrow because of its proximity to the town, eh?
Yeah.
I mean, it's tapas country, Rioja, lovely, isn't it? And the supermarket is like a 14-minute walk away. So one thing we should say about Harrow, if you arrive in the middle of the afternoon, which if you're travelling from the south you probably will, it can feel like people are shutting their doors in your faces. It's because they are. It's very traditionally Spanish, so pretty much all the tapas places and restaurants shut at 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon.
Yeah.
And open again later in the evening, say 7 p.m. or something. 7 or 8, aye. Just to be aware of. Let me show you something quickly about these bench seats again. We've mentioned before how they're really too high and too high back to be any use. Charging box over there, thing to hold bits and pieces on the back of it, but that real piece of real estate there in a small van like this becomes really important because it's a handy place to put your shopping. All matters. Una copa de Rioja Reserva, por favor. I'm practicing how to ask for a glass of Rioja Reserve in Spanish. Google Translate, brilliant. So I've spoken to you before about language and how you can't possibly learn all the languages if you're touring Europe, and how Google Translate has opened up the world, but also how it's worth having a go, isn't it?
Yeah.
Definitely. I think there's a mental block often against trying another language. You worry, will I sound stupid? Probably you will. Will I be understood? There's nothing to worry about really, yeah?
No.
Just letting somebody pass there. Now here's the thing, you don't want to be too perfect at it. You don't want your pronunciation to be perfect, because I've made that mistake. No, really listened and tried and then said it. And all you'll get is somebody coming back and talking fluently to you in Italian or Spanish or whatever other country you're at. And you end up having to put your hand up and go, sorry mate, that's all I've got. So better not to be too good at it. And you will be understood. When you say something, even may I have, or a couple of beers, may I pay now please, and somebody understands you, it is a real eye-opener, isn't it? Because it's just different words for the same thing, is the way I see it, But at the end of the day, English is a language that's going to get you through it, isn't it? I worked in Arabic and ex-Russian states, very hard languages to learn. English even there was pretty widely spoken, But as somebody else once said to me, he said, I am German. If I go on holiday to Spain, if I want to talk to somebody from Spain, the first language I try is English, It's honestly well worth having a go. It changes everything. So Harrow is full of tapas bars and restaurants, isn't it? But we always think of this as like Harrow's Tapas Alley, don't we? You get like a good whiskey. That was excellent, wasn't it? Specialising in empanadas, Los Barones.
Absolutely brilliant.
I expected to pay about €60 there. €31.20.
Brilliant.
So we've been here quite a few times, haven't we? So Los Barones for the food, and they're so friendly. But that last place, which is often described as a wine shop that does tapas, love that
Well, it was lovely, that was right. Yeah, she was really lovely.
She was. The importance of engagement is that, we went in under either Rioja, Second one, she gave us a really expensive Rioja.
Yeah.
For the same price. Cost, with 2 bits of tapas, 2 Riojas, 2 beers, 2 tapas, €15.20. Yeah, paid 20. Absolutely phenomenal.
Absolutely lovely.
So that was a nice wee stop, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's lovely.
Like Harrow, don't we?
Yeah. Well, we like tapas.
Turn right onto Carretera Miranda, then take the first right.
You've got to be a bit wary. It's not always clear where the junctions are here. And then you've got this The sharp one coming in from the left here.
Turn left onto
Clear,
R111.
Clear.
Generally, if you're heading north from here, it's a left at this junction at the bridge.
Yeah.
I've mentioned this before, but look at the light. The light's really bad. But on towns and main roads and highways, it's relatively easy to remember to drive on the right. I mean, this isn't too bad either. But it's when you're coming out onto little side roads and that can sometimes be a bit harder to remember.
Clear.
Okay, we are heading for Potes, so let's crack on.
Another lovely campsite.
Yeah, we've always liked it there,
Yeah.
haven't we?
Yeah.
Part of the reason is location and the view of the mountain, but also the mountains, but also the toilet block is solid stone and wood. It's so fitting to the area, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's the thing. And we had the menu del dia in the campsite restaurant yesterday. It was excellent, €14 a piece. The thing is, that campsite restaurant is one of the highest rated restaurants in Potes.
Yeah.
If you have a look. And good news is there's a nice path you can walk down into Potes, eh?
Yeah.
You don't have to walk on the main road.
Always a bonus.
They've also built a little air sort of thing down the town here, which wasn't here before. It's actually a bit more than here. It's like a little campsite.
Yeah, it's lovely.
With individual pitches, yeah, pretty good. 2 toilets, 2 showers. Yeah, as we've said, there's bits of Potes. It could have been CGI by Disney, yeah?
Yeah.
You think, why is it like this? Why was it built like this? Pretty incredible, isn't it? Always find these wee bits as well that you've not seen before. Northern Spain, honestly, when it's like this, it's like Scotland, but in the best summer's day you've ever had, isn't it?
Yeah.
Incredible. I thought I'd just mention this quickly. So you still need these extensions, these adapters, yeah. I would say 15 years ago in Europe we were using these most of the time. Recently I think we used it twice here in Spain. We used it probably once over in Italy and Germany and so on last September. Most campsites have switched to these now, but you still need to carry one. And I say this because we were able to help somebody out who hadn't taken one with them. But I want to mention cables generally. So if you buy one of these units, any kind of unit, generally you're going to get a 25 metre cable with it, yeah? And that's going to cover you 90% of the time. Now here you can see there's a common distribution board away over there. This 25 metre cable we have has been able to reach probably with, I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 metres spare. If I'd parked the van on the other side of the pitch, the other way around, it would have been a bit tighter, Now we have definitely found occasionally 25 metres is not enough. So the most natural thing to do would be carry another 10 metre cable, say, because these cables, if you go outdoors and so on, they'll generally come in either 25 metres or 10 metres. So you'd buy a 10 metre cable. Problem with that is a 10 metre cable is annoyingly short, yeah? So if you think you've got a metre drop off your connection on the van, a metre drop off, say, from the electricity point in the site, you've only got 8 paces of cable. And too often it just falls short and you end up having to use the 25, right, when it would be much better to use the 10. Now you can buy 14 and 15 metre hookup cables online now, I noticed, but you couldn't years ago. So what I did was I took a 25 and I cut it down to 15, yeah, and 15 is much more useful. Now I would say before we had the 15, we would be using the 25 metre cable 80% of the time, because the 10 metre was annoyingly about 2 metres short, say, you know. Now with a 15 metre cable, I'm using it 80% of the time and only occasionally using a 25 metre cable, right? Now I would also say that we have two bags like this. This one is a 10 metre, a 15 metre cable in it with its own adapter. Another bag exactly the same, which has a 25 metre in it with its own adapter. And the reason we don't use a big drum, as some people do, is because A, you're really supposed to unwind all the cable off of these drums because they heat up if not, yeah. And I noticed that a couple of campsites that we use travelling down here in the UK, club sites, the wardens were specifically warning you to fully unwind your cable. Also, I think in the back of the toilet doors, cubicles, there was warnings as well. And I think it's because perhaps there's been an incident, you know. So that's why we use two separate cables. The other thing the other great thing about the 15 metre cable in this bag, it fits in the door pocket of the Ducato perfectly. So it's right there, ready to grab when we park up, yeah. Okay. Here we go. So again, we'll leave the camera on just now so you can get a wee look at this site. But it is lovely, isn't it?
Really enjoyed it.
And the restaurant's a big attraction, isn't it?
Yeah.
But Potes, it's an expensive part of Spain compared to the rest of Spain.
Yeah.
Still a bargain compared to the UK.
Yeah.
So menu del dia in the town there, 18, 19 euros. Mm-hmm. Here in the restaurant, 14. You know, 3 courses and a drink, 14. Mm-hmm. On a Sunday, it's 16. Now, it's one of the highest rated restaurants in Potes, isn't it?
Yes. Aye.
And it's not, I don't think it's because the food's fancier end, because it isn't, you know. So the menu changes every day, but yesterday we had Spanish beans, lentil stew, lentil soup, beef burgers and chips. Mm-hmm. It's homemade beef burgers, and they were phenomenal, you know. Yeah. And then a choice of dessert, you know. But the thing is, for us now, it's just enough, isn't it? It's plenty of food.
Yeah.
For 14 euros. What's that? 12 quid. That's with a drink. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh,
just pretty astonishing, isn't it? Every Spanish site's got cats, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. That just looks like a wee kitten.
So we were going to stay in Santander for the last 2 nights because we know tapas bars there that we really like, you know. We've stayed there a few times. Yeah. But last minute we decided to stay here instead.
Well worth it. Well,
we realised if we got over here at 8 o'clock, it's 8 minutes past 8 now, even with these roadworks on the N261, unless something goes seriously bad, we've still got plenty of time for the ferry, you know. And we're people who like to arrive early for a ferry. And that's largely because of distances we drive to get to a ferry, isn't it, from Inverness. You're very conscious that the more distance you've got to travel, the higher the potential for risk, you know.
In 1.5 kilometres, turn right onto Calle Independencia.
So we don't sort of recommend campsites, do we? Because it's a very personal thing. It depends on the time of year, who's around you. You know, we've had campsites recommended to us enthusiastically, and we have not seen the attraction of it.
No. Yeah.
So I'd imagine it would be similar for other people if we recommend something. But the best campsites we go to in Spain are family owned.
Yeah.
In fact, throughout Europe, they're family owned. Now, we've been to some great chain ones, you know, Flowers and Yellow and things like that. But family owns the key, you know. Lovely family that owns that one. Right, let's crack on to Santander, eh? Pretty standard fare for these new ferries, Brittany ferries, isn't it?
Yeah.
Bit more like a giant car ferry than a cruise ship now, aren't they, the newer ones? Yeah. Good enough though, eh?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
nothing
there's
behind
nothing
us.
behind us.
Well, here we go again. Back to the UK.
And it's daylight.
Yeah, we're used to coming off in the dark, but we're going to stay in a local campsite for 2 nights tonight, aren't we? Tonight, tomorrow. Then we'll start the long journey back up the Highlands, 600 miles.